Hello, and welcome to my channel, my friends. We have all been there before. You are sitting in a quiet room. Someone looks at you with a friendly smile. They ask you a very simple question. They say, "Tell me about yourself." It sounds so easy. It is just a few words. But suddenly your heart starts to beat faster. Your hands feel cold and sweaty. Your mind goes completely blank. You want to speak, but the words just will not come out. You feel like a deer caught in headlights. You start to worry about your grammar. You worry about your accent. You think to yourself, what if I make a mistake? What if they do not understand me? This fear is very real. It happens to almost every English learner. Even people who know a lot of vocabulary can freeze up in this moment. It is not because your English is bad. It is because you feel the pressure to be perfect. You want to sound smart. You want to say the right things. So you get stuck in your own head. I want you to take a deep breath right now. It is completely okay to feel this way. You do not need to be perfect to share your story. Today, we are going to change everything. We are going to make this process very simple for you. You do not need big, complicated words to talk about who you are. You do not need to know advanced grammar rules. You only need your own truth and very simple sentences. In this quiet conversation, we will look at how to build your confidence, step by step. We will talk about how to share your name, your daily life, your hobbies, and your big dreams. We will do this together slowly and clearly. By the end of our time today, you will realize that your story is beautiful just the way it is. You will feel ready to speak without that heavy weight of fear. Let us begin this journey together with a calm mind and a happy heart. Part 1. The foundation of you. Name and place. Let us start with the absolute basics. When someone asks you to talk about yourself, you might feel like you need to tell a long and dramatic story. You might think you need to explain every single detail of your life from the day you were born. But this is not true. Your life story does not need to be a long movie with special effects. It can be a very simple book with clear chapters. The foundation of who you are starts with just two small things. Your name and your place. These are the building blocks of your identity. They are the easiest things to say, yet we often get them wrong because we try to make them too complicated. When you say your name, you are introducing your soul to the world. When you say your place, you are sharing a piece of your home. You do not need to overthink this. You do not need to explain why your parents gave you your name. You do not need to give a history lesson about your city. Just say the words clearly and let them breathe. Think about Emily. She is a young woman from New York. When she speaks to someone new, she does not give a long speech. She just says, "Hello, my name is Emily, and I am from New York." She is a student who loves reading books. Her goal is very simple. She wants to feel a little more confident every day. That is all. It takes less than 10 seconds to say this, but it is incredibly powerful. Why does this work so well? It works because she is not trying to impress anyone. She is not using big words to sound important. She is just being honest. She is sharing her real self. When you listen to her, you do not feel like you are listening to a test. You feel like you are meeting a real person. This is the secret of a good introduction. It is not about showing off. It is about connecting with another human being. When you keep your words simple, you give the other person space to understand you. You create a warm bridge between two minds. Now let us look at another example. Imagine a young man named David. He comes from Texas. David is a student who loves playing football and watching videos. His goal is to speak English fluently. When David introduces himself, he says, "Hi, my name is David. I am from Texas. I am a student. I like playing football. My goal is to speak English fluently." Just like Emily David keeps his message clear. He does not try to explain the rules of football. He does not talk about the hot weather in Texas. He just shares the core details. Where you come from is a very beautiful detail. It is a part of your story. You might come from a huge city with tall buildings. Or you might come from a quiet little town in the countryside. Both of these places are special. When you share your place, you are giving people a small window into your world. You can say, "I am from London," or "I come from a small village." Both ways are perfectly fine. The key is to say it with a warm heart. Many English learners make a big mistake here. They think that speaking fast is the same as speaking well. They see native speakers talking quickly, and they try to copy that speed. They push their words together. They do not take any breaks. They think this makes them sound smart and fluent. But the truth is very different. True fluency is not about speed. True fluency is about clarity. When you speak too fast, you make more mistakes. Your tongue gets tied. Your brain cannot keep up with your mouth. You start to panic because you feel like you are running a race. But speaking is not a race. It is a walk in the park. When you speak slowly, you actually show great power. You show that you are in control of your thoughts. You show that you respect your own voice. When you take your time, the listener will also slow down to listen to you. It creates a calm space for both of you to share. So when you say your name and your place, do not rush. Take a deep breath before you start. If you need to pause, then pause. It is completely normal to stop for a second to think. You can say, "Let me think," or "One moment, please." These small phrases are like little rests on a long walk. They give your brain a chance to rest and find the next word. They show the listener that you are a real person, not a machine. Mistakes will happen, and that is perfectly fine. If you say a word wrong, you do not need to feel bad. Just smile, correct yourself, and keep going. The more you practice this simple foundation, the easier it will become. You will find that you do not need to fear the question, "Tell me about yourself." You will welcome it because you know exactly how to start. You start with your name. You start with your place. You start with a quiet breath and a confident smile. Part 2. The beauty of your ordinary day. Welcome back to our comfortable space, my friends. Now that we have built our foundation with our name and our place, let us take the next step together. We are going to talk about something very close to you. We are going to talk about your daily life. Many people believe that to speak English well, they must talk about huge topics. They think they need to explain complex global events or deep scientific ideas. But this is a big mistake. Real conversations do not start with big theories. They start with the little things you do every single day. Your daily routine is a beautiful treasure of simple sentences. You do not need to search for difficult words because you already know your own life. You live it every day. When you share your daily routine, you are sharing your real world. It is the easiest way to practice speaking because you do not have to invent anything. You just describe what is already there. Let us think about how your day begins. The morning is a very special time. It is quiet and fresh. When someone asks you what you do every day, you can start right at the beginning. You can say, I usually wake up early in the morning. Think about the very first things you do. First, I drink a glass of clean water. Then I brush my teeth and get ready for my day. These sentences are very short, they are very simple, but they paint a clear picture. You can talk about the feeling of the cool water. You can talk about the quietness of the house. After that, I have my breakfast. Maybe you like to eat eggs, or maybe you just drink a cup of warm tea. You can say, I study or work for a few hours. In the morning, my mind is fresh and ready. I like to start my day with a positive mind. By sharing these small details, you make your English feel alive. You are not just repeating words from a textbook. You are telling a real story about a real human being. To make this even easier for your brain, we can divide your day into 3 clear parts. We have the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. Let us look at the afternoon first. In the afternoon, the world is busy. This is when you do your main work or your studies. You can say, in the afternoon, I usually focus on my work. I try to stay productive and complete my important tasks. After lunch, I like to take a short break to rest my eyes. Sometimes I watch a simple English video to improve my listening skills. This is a great way to show how you spend your time. Now let us look at the evening. The evening is a time for winding down. It is a time to let go of the stress of the day. You can say, in the evening, I like to relax. Sometimes I go for a quiet walk in the park. Sometimes I spend quality time with my family. We sit together and talk about our day. I also practice my English speaking for a little while. At night, I plan my next day, and then I go to sleep. When you divide your day like this, your speech becomes very organized. You do not get lost because you are just following the sun from morning to night. There are some small words that can make your daily routine sound much more natural. These are words like usually, sometimes, often, and every day. They add a nice rhythm to your speech. They help the listener understand how you live. For example, you can say, I usually wake up early. I sometimes watch English movies on the weekend. I often practice speaking alone in my room. I read a few pages of a book every day. These words are very easy to use, but they make your English sound smooth and rich. You can also talk about the things you do not do. This is a secret trick to make your conversation longer and more interesting. It shows your personality and your choices. You can say, I do not wake up very late because I like the morning light. I do not use my phone too much when I first wake up. I do not like wasting my time on social media. I do not skip my daily English practice. By adding these negative sentences, you give more details about your character. You show what is important to you. Let us put all of these pieces together into one beautiful answer. Imagine someone asks you, can you tell me about your daily life? You can answer them like this. Yes, of course. My daily life is quite simple, but I try to make it productive. I usually wake up early in the morning. First, I drink some water and get ready for the day. After a warm breakfast, I start my work or my studies. In the afternoon, I focus on my main tasks. In the evening, I like to relax, spend time with my family, and practice my English. I also try to learn something new every day because I want to grow. This is a perfect answer. It is clear, natural, and very easy to understand. If you are a student, you can change the work part and say, I go to my classes. If you stay at home, you can say, I help my family and work on my personal skills. Do not try to memorize this word for word. Just use the pattern. My day usually starts with blank. In the afternoon, I blank. In the evening, I blank. Practice saying these sentences in front of your mirror. Talk to yourself about your day. Every time you speak about your real life, your English becomes stronger and your fear fades away. Part 3. Sharing your spark. Hobbies and likes. Hello, and welcome back to our quiet space, my dear friends. It is wonderful to sit down with you again. Now that we have talked about our names and our daily routines, let us explore something that truly brings color to our lives. When you introduce yourself, your name and your city are like the frame of a picture. Your daily routine is like the background. But your hobbies and your interests are the bright, beautiful colors that fill the center of the painting. When someone asks you what you like to do in your free time, they are not just looking for a list of activities. They want to see your spark. They want to know what makes your eyes light up and what makes you feel alive. Many English learners worry that their hobbies are too simple or too ordinary to talk about. They think they must have exciting stories about traveling the world or doing extreme sports to sound interesting. But that is not true at all. The most beautiful conversations often come from the simplest things. Whether you love reading a quiet book, listening to your favorite songs, or just walking in the fresh air, these small things are a beautiful part of who you are. To make talking about your hobbies easy and stress-free, you can use a very simple 3-step formula. First, you state what your hobby is. Second, you explain the reason why you enjoy it. Third, you share how often you do it. This simple structure helps keep your thoughts organized so that your mind does not freeze. Instead of just giving a one-word answer like reading or cooking, you can build a complete and natural response. For example, instead of saying, I like books, you can say, I really love reading books because they give me new ideas, and I try to read a few pages every single night. This simple change turns a short and dry statement into a warm invitation for a real conversation. It gives the other person a chance to understand your thoughts and ask you friendly questions in return. It builds a comfortable bridge between you and the listener. Let us look closely at the second step of our formula, which is the reason why you love your hobby. The why is the most important part because it shows your inner world. Think about the joy of reading. Books are like quiet doors to new places and new ideas. When you read, you can travel anywhere in the world without ever leaving your room. You can say, I enjoy reading books because it gives me a quiet space to relax and helps me learn useful things. Now think about the magic of music. Music is a universal language that can change how we feel in a single moment. It can make a sad day feel bright and a busy day feel calm. You can say, I love listening to music because it helps me let go of stress and makes me feel happy. These reasons are very simple, but they are incredibly powerful because they are real. They show that you are a person who appreciates the quiet beauty of life. You do not need to spend a lot of money or have special equipment to enjoy a hobby. Some of the most meaningful hobbies are completely free and easy to do. For example, learning English is a wonderful hobby. You can say, I really like practicing English because it builds my confidence and helps me connect with people from different countries. Cooking is another beautiful interest. When you cook, you take simple ingredients and create something warm and delicious with your own hands. You can say, I enjoy cooking because I love sharing good food with my family and friends. Even a simple walk in the park can be a beautiful hobby. You can say, I like walking in the evening because the quiet streets and the fresh air help me clear my mind. The value of a hobby is not in how expensive it is. The value is in how much peace and joy it brings to your heart. When you talk about the things you love, the way you speak is just as important as the words you use. This is a secret that many English learners do not know. Often when people practice speaking, they use a very flat and quiet voice because they are afraid of making a mistake. They sound like they are reading a boring list from a textbook. But when you talk about your hobbies, you must let your real feelings shine through your voice. If you love music, let that happiness show in your tone. If you enjoy cooking, speak with a little bit of excitement. You do not need perfect grammar to show passion. A warm smile and a lively voice are much more powerful than a perfect sentence. When you speak with real feeling, your English becomes natural and attractive. People will listen to you not because your grammar is flawless, but because they can feel your positive energy. Let us look at some simple examples of how our friends talk about their hobbies using our formula. Emily says, my favorite hobby is reading books. I love reading because it helps me relax after a long day of study. I try to read for 20 minutes every night before I go to sleep. Ethan says, I really enjoy listening to music in my free time. I like music because it makes me feel calm and peaceful. I usually listen to my favorite songs while I am walking to my classes. David says, I love playing football with my friends on the weekend. It is my favorite activity because it keeps me healthy and active. We try to play together every Saturday afternoon. Notice how simple these sentences are. There are no difficult words, yet they paint a complete and beautiful picture of each person. You can easily do the exact same thing. Take a moment to think about what you love to do and practice saying it using this simple pattern. Remember that your hobbies do not need to impress anyone. They only need to express who you are. If you like simple things like watching the rain, drinking warm tea, or playing with your pet, you should say so. Honesty is the most beautiful thing in any language. When you speak about what you truly love, your fear of making mistakes will start to disappear. You will stop worrying about grammar rules because your heart is focused on sharing your joy. This is how your confidence grows day by day. Every time you share a small piece of your world, you become a stronger and more natural speaker. So do not be afraid to talk about your spark. Speak slowly, speak with a warm heart, and let your genuine love for life shine through your English. Part 4. The People and Places That Shape You. Hello again, my dear friends. I am so glad you are still here sitting with me in this quiet room. Today we are going to talk about the people and the places that make us who we are. When we talk about ourselves, we often have to talk about our family, our studies, or our work. For many people, these questions can feel very heavy. When someone asks, "What do your parents do?" or "Where do you work?" you might feel a sudden weight in your chest. You might worry that your job is not important enough. You might feel embarrassed if you are not studying at a famous school. But I want to tell you a secret. People do not care about fancy titles. They care about the human connection. They want to hear about the warmth in your life. They want to see your effort. When we talk about these topics, we do not need to show off. We just need to share the simple truth with a peaceful heart. Let us start with your family. Your family is the very first circle of your life. It is the place where you learned your first words. It is where you found your first steps. When someone asks you about your family, you can keep your answer very warm and simple. You do not need to give a long family tree. You can start by saying if your family is big or small. For example, you can say, I have a small and loving family. There are 4 people in my home. My father, my mother, my sister, and me. This is a beautiful start. Then you can talk about the feeling of being together. You can say we love to sit together in the evening and talk about our day. My family is very supportive, and they always make me feel safe. When you speak like this, you are not just listing names. You are sharing the quiet warmth of your home. You are telling the listener that you have a place where you belong. This makes your English feel incredibly rich and real. Let us think about our friend Ethan from California. Ethan has a very simple life, but he speaks about it with so much love. He says, I live with my small family in a quiet neighborhood. My parents are very kind, and they always encourage me to follow my dreams. I also have a younger brother who likes to play games with me. Ethan does not have a fancy house or a famous family. But when he shares these details, you can feel the love in his voice. This is what connects people. You can use the same simple patterns for your own family. You can say my family supports me a lot, or you can say I live with my parents and they teach me good values. These small sentences are very easy to say. They do not require complex grammar, but they carry a very deep meaning. Let us imagine a quiet evening in Ethan's house. The sun is going down, and the lights are warm. They sit at the wooden table and share a simple meal. They talk about their day, their small worries, and their hopes. This is not a scene from a movie. It is just a normal family evening. When you talk about your family, you can bring this warm feeling into your English. You can say, my family likes to eat dinner together. We talk about our day and we laugh a lot. This simple description is much better than just saying, I have a family of 4. It shows the connection and the love. Now let us turn our attention to your studies or your work. This is where you spend most of your daily energy. Sometimes we feel like we have to say we have a perfect job or perfect grades, but honesty is actually your greatest strength. If you are a student, you can say, I am a student, and I am studying computer science. But do not stop there. Share the effort behind your studies. You can say, I study hard because I want to build a better future for myself. I like learning new things even when they are difficult. This shows your character. It shows that you are a person who is trying to grow. If you are learning English, you can say, right now, my main study is English. I practice every day because I want to speak with more people. This is a wonderful and honest answer. It shows that you are active and focused on your goals. If you work, you might feel nervous if your job is simple. Maybe you work in an office, or maybe you sell things in a small shop. Perhaps you help at home, or maybe you create videos online. Whatever you do, your work is valuable because of your effort. You do not need to use difficult business words to explain your job. You can say, I work in a small company. My work is sometimes very challenging, but I learn many useful things every day. I try to do my best and help my co-workers. When you admit that your work is challenging, you are being real. People love honesty. It shows that you do not live in a fantasy world. It shows that you face real problems and you solve them with a positive mind. Think about a busy day at work. You are tired, but you still try your best. You can say, "My job is not easy, but I feel happy when I help someone." This is a very beautiful way to speak. It shows that you are a kind and hard-working person. If you are not working right now, that is also completely fine. You can say at the moment, "I am focusing on improving my skills and learning new things." This answer is very polite, and it shows that you are not wasting your time. Let us look at how you can practice these ideas. You can use a very simple pattern to talk about your work or study. You can say, "I do blank because I want to blank." For example, "I work as a teacher because I love helping children," or "I study business because I want to understand how companies work." This pattern is very helpful because it connects your action to your purpose. It tells the listener why you do what you do. It shows your motivation. When you speak about your family, your studies, or your work, always remember to speak slowly. Let your voice carry your real feelings. You do not need to rush to the end of the sentence. Take your time, breathe, and let each word have its own space. Every simple sentence you speak is a step forward. You are building your confidence one honest word at a time. Part 5. The Road Ahead. Dreams and the Journey. Warm greetings to you as we take this next beautiful step together. We have talked about our past, our daily lives, and the things that make us smile. Now let us turn our eyes toward the horizon and talk about the road ahead. When you share your story in English, one of the most beautiful things you can talk about is your future. Your goals and your dreams show people who you are becoming. They show your direction in life and they show your strength. Anyone can say their name or where they live. But when you talk about your dreams, you show your true heart. You show that you are moving forward and that you believe in yourself. Many learners feel lost when someone asks about their goals. They do not know what to say because they think they need to have a giant, perfect plan. But a goal does not need to be a massive mountain. It can be a simple path that you walk every day. Your goal is simply the direction you want to walk. If you are learning English, your goal might be very straightforward. You can say, "My goal is to speak English with confidence." Or you can say, "My goal is to understand my favorite movies without subtitles." These are wonderful goals because they are real and practical. When you add a reason to your goal, your words become much more powerful. You can say, "My goal is to improve my English because I want to make new friends from different countries." Or, "My goal is to get a better job because I want to support my family." This simple structure gives your words a heartbeat. It shows that you have a purpose and that you are building a real life with those words. What is your biggest dream in life? A dream is like a star in the night sky. It guides you when the road is dark. For many of us, the dream is very simple. We dream of speaking English without that cold feeling of fear in our chest. We dream of standing in front of people and sharing our thoughts clearly. We dream of laughing at a joke with a foreign friend. We dream of traveling to a new city and asking for directions without feeling shy. This is a beautiful dream of freedom and connection. You can share this dream with others You can say, "My dream is to speak English fluently and naturally. I know it will take time, but I am ready to try my best." When you say these words, you are being honest. You are admitting that the journey is not easy, but you are still choosing to walk it. This honesty is incredibly attractive. It makes people want to support you and listen to you. Your dream is a part of your identity, so do not be afraid to speak it aloud. Let us talk about your English journey itself. This journey is a big part of who you are. It is not a straight line. It has ups and downs. There are days when you feel like a superstar, and there are days when you feel like you have forgotten everything. We must acknowledge the early days of struggle. Think back to when you first started. Remember the feeling of looking at a page of English words and seeing only confusion. Remember the times when you wanted to say something, but your mouth would not move. You felt shy, and you felt like everyone was judging you. You wanted to hide. It is important to talk about these feelings because they are not signs of weakness. They are signs of your courage. You can say, in the beginning, English was very difficult for me. I felt nervous when I tried to speak, and I was afraid of making mistakes. This is your truth. But then look at where you are now. You are here. You are listening to this quiet conversation, and you are practicing. This is your present effort. You can say, "Now I practice my English every single day. I listen to simple stories, I repeat useful sentences, and I try to speak about my life. I know my English is not perfect, but I am slowly getting better." This contrast between your past fear and your present effort is very inspiring. It shows that you did not give up and that you are a fighter. When a listener hears this, they only feel respect for your hard work. They see a person who is growing. To make this journey easier, we must talk about the words we use when we speak to ourselves. This is a very important secret. The way you talk about yourself inside your own mind changes how you speak to the world. Many learners have a habit of saying negative things. They say, "My English is terrible," or "I am too old to learn," or "I always make stupid mistakes." These words are like heavy stones that you carry in your pockets. They weigh you down and make you tired before you even start. You must throw these stones away and change your words. Do not say, "My English is bad." Say, "My English is growing." Do not say, "I cannot speak." Say, "I am learning to speak." Do not say, "I am weak." Say, "I am getting stronger every day." This is not just about being positive. It is about being fair to yourself. Learning a language is a big task that takes time and patience. You deserve your own kindness. When you use positive words, your confidence will naturally grow. Your voice will sound stronger, and your heart will feel lighter. Let us look at our friend Emily again. When she talks about her journey, she says, "My English journey is not a perfect story. In the beginning, I was so afraid of looking foolish. I would stay silent even when I knew the answer. But now I realize that mistakes are just lessons. I practice every day by reading aloud and listening to calm voices. My goal is to use English to share my thoughts with the world." Emily is not a native speaker, but her words are beautiful because they are real. You can do the exact same thing. You can build your own story of growth. Every day you take one small step. Sometimes you stumble, but you always get back up. This is the heart of a true learner. Hello again, my dear friends, as we reach the end of our beautiful conversation today. We have walked through so many lovely paths together in this quiet space. We talked about the simplicity of your name and the place you call home. We looked at the quiet beauty of your daily routine, from your morning glass of water to your evening rest. We shared the spark of your favorite hobbies and the warmth of the people who support you every day. And finally, we looked toward the horizon at your big dreams and your inspiring English journey. All of these small pieces come together to make you who you are. They are not just words on a page. They are the true chapters of your life. When you put them together, you realize that you already have everything you need to speak. You do not need a dictionary of difficult words. You only need the courage to share these simple, beautiful truths with the world. Your story is unique, and the world is waiting to hear it in your own voice. Please remember that every mistake you make is just a small stepping stone on your path. A mistake is not a sign of failure. It is the ultimate proof that you are trying, that you are showing up, and that you are growing. Every single time you open your mouth to share your story, you are becoming a stronger and more confident speaker. You are teaching your mind to let go of fear. You are showing yourself that your voice matters. Perfect grammar is never required to make a real connection. People do not listen to you to grade your English. They listen to hear your heart and to understand your thoughts. All you need is the simple bravery to speak your truth. You are completely capable of doing this. I believe in your strength, and I know you can do it. Thank you for spending this peaceful time with me today. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and always believe in the power of your own unique story.